everybody, and welcome to the Breaking Bad Rewatch Podcast, Season 1. That's right, Better Call Saul came to an end, and everybody's dying for us to go back into this Albuquerque mythos. So we're doing it. We're going to rewatch both shows slowly but surely, maybe half a season per month. I am Simian Jimmy, joined as always by Hartsy Protsy.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're doing this now in preparation for Breaking Bad Phase 2.
Oh, what is Phase 2? Is the Gus show gonna finally come out?
Definitely, yeah.
I figured Better Call Saul was Phase 2.
Well, I just can't wait for the Huel show. That'll be the best.
Oh, is that Florian Himsel I hear?
Hello, everybody. I watched the show.
Oh, good. And finally, Erich McCoy.
That's right. Breaking Bad, the pretty alright show from the early 2000s, if anybody remembers it.
Pretty alright. Wow. I was going to say pretty alt-right, because we have Jesse hiling Hitler, and he's calling Walt a faggot nonstop. You know, very alt-right show.
Yeah, and retard, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of retards, but even Gomi is calling Hank a retard. So this really, so much nostalgia watching season 1 of the show. It really takes me back to the classic years of the early 2000s where everybody was just a faggot and a retard all the time. You know, these days you can't say it.
Yeah, Hank is pretty racist with Hispanic people.
Well, that's consistent. I think they cool it on the homophobia later on in the very same show.
Yeah.
When this aired on AMC, did they say the fuck word all the time, or did they bleep it?
I guarantee they bleeped it in 2008.
Oh,
and then there's also titties in like the first episode.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
The show was so much more based.
Being like, I don't remember the show being bleeped or being like fuzzy because of can't show nudity. Like, I'm so confused as to how I watched this.
So they, on AMC, they would just censor. They don't do like a bleep, but they would just like drop the audio when they would say the fuck word. And even when Mike wrote that fuck you little sign at the park, like they blurred out the written word of fuck.
Wow, incredible.
It's funny that you mentioned the vulgarity and the nudity, because I first watched Breaking Bad with my dad when I was 9 years old.
Oh my god.
9 years old? Holy shit.
That's a rough upbringing.
Yeah, well, no,
I thought Walt was a bad dad.
Yeah, just melting corpses. That's what the kid's gonna see, you know. Gonna make sure to use the right plastic.
Right.
We're gonna have a whole breakdown of the human body explained while we have it happen.
Well, hey, we'll get to that. Erich, what do you think is the best way for us to approach a whole season review? Like, are we really gonna go episode by episode, or should we just do a general overview?
I would just character by character.
Okay.
Might be best.
Well, going into this rewatch, the thing on my mind has been, I want to keep a close look at Walter and Skyler, because there has been a lot of rewriting of history and just recontextualizing things in the modern day, where people, for some reason, want to say that Walter White, no, he was always a big asshole. Always. From episode 1, he's a big prick. Oh, there was no character arc. Are you kidding me? Mr. Chips to Scarface? No, he was always Scarface. I'm like, okay, well, let's take a look. Let's see if there's any humanity in Walter White in season 1. Is he a human being, or is he just a big asshole the whole time?
I was surprised to see that he actually is, like, pretty relatable. Like, I think, like, he is definitely, like, Mr. Chips at the very beginning to start out with, but he's having some fun dipping into these other things. He is not full asshole Walt yet, to me.
I've always hated the notion that people believe that Walt was always, like, evil deep down. I think that, like, ruins the entire point of the show of him becoming evil and becoming this bad man, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely just like a normal guy to me. And even in the flashback that Florian was just talking about, when we see like young Walter White with long hair and a big beard, and he's like this cool hippy dippy scientist, like cool guy. I guess not really hippy dippy, but like it was back in the day. And he's talking with Gretchen about It's basically a scene from Full Metal Alchemist. They're talking about all the chemical components that build up a human, and they're like, oh, well, there's 0.15% missing for some reason. Like, this math doesn't check out. Oh, could it be the human soul? And I think the closest to Walt maybe being an asshole from the very beginning is when he's like, this is chemistry. There's no soul. What are you talking about?
That's not an asshole. That's just.
He's being, kind of mean to Gretchen, who he's supposed to be in love with at this point. Like, bitch, you believe in souls? What are you, gay?
That's not science.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even have a weight. They wouldn't have a weight. Doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not even like I disagree with him. Like, yeah, if I'm trying to figure out the components of the body and some bitch brings up souls, I'd tell her to go to church. But I'm not in love with Gretchen like Walt is supposed to be. Sometimes when you're in love with somebody, you got to put up with the dumb shit they believe.
Oh, is that why it never works for me? Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah, you got to pretend that the earth is flat next time you're with that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florian doesn't put up with any bullshit.
No.
The soul is actually also made of carbon, bitch.
Any other thoughts on Walt early on?
Well, we definitely see that he has... definitely some kind of moral compass where he wants to avoid murder, and he feels really bad about it afterwards. But then also he does immediately go to fuck his wife right after the first murders, so.
No, you say murders, you're just like classified wrong, classically wrong. I'm using the wrong word here. It's very early for me still. But Walt... Who does he murder? Like, they try to kill Walt and Jesse. This is straight up self-defense. Even when he's like choking the guy with the bike lock, he's doing it in self-defense. The dude's trying to stab him to death.
Well, yeah, that's true, but...
Yeah, there's no murder in these early episodes. It's all self-defense.
It's so weird how that happens, actually, because one of them's supposed to be a police informant, so why did he just, go ahead with trying to kill Walt? That's so weird. How does that even...
Just because he's a police informant doesn't mean he's a morally good guy. Like, he's still a drug dealer and a murderer, but now he's just, also working for the police. He's really a real Doflamingo.
I understand that reference now.
Yeah, so I kind of want to bring something up, though. At the end of the season, we kind of get introduced to a new character. We get completely cut away from Walt and see this new bald guy who, introduces himself as Heisenberg. And then we follow him throughout the rest of the end of the season. What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's almost like if there was some kind of scene that would explain where he came from, right?
Yeah,
it's just like Walt goes into the shower and then Heisenberg comes out. What's up with that?
This is like an Incredible Hulk thing where he transforms back and forth.
Yeah.
I have a few other notes on Walt's character. At one point at the breakfast table, he's telling the story about how the high school girls are taking these slutty photos for their senior pictures. And Walt says, and I quote, "Even the small, busted girls have cleavage now." So he's a high school teacher looking at the flat-chested students.
Why is he talking to these things with his wife? I'm wondering.
I can't believe you guys would act like that. That is a grade A anecdote, only ruined by the fact that he's using it merely to deceive his family. Okay.
Well, Walt Jr.'s into it. Like, he's like, "No, Dad, that's the Wonder Bra." And they're like, "Oh, the Wonder Bra. Is that still around?" Like, Hartsy, do you see girls flaunting their Wonder Bra in high school still?
Well, I stare at the ground to avoid looking at people, so I couldn't tell you.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it makes perfect sense that they're trying to censor the cleavage, but can they? Should they? It's a great moral question. Just like that soul thing,
Yeah, it's too bad they never resolved this subplot of did they stop the women from showing off their cleavage? I guess stop the students, not the women.
That's for the next spinoff.
Well, that should have been covered in season 2, so I guess we'll get to that next month.
I'm very interested with Walt when the switchover will happen. When I'll be like, okay, this guy is fully evil. He's a complete asshole. I feel no sympathy for him anymore because as of now, I'm not really on his side, but I'm like, yeah, he seems all right.
Actually, I kind of I kind of feel that Walt is actually fully an asshole already. Wow. Okay, I might be controversial.
Well,
here.
let's hear it.
No, you ever controversial.
Look, he knows very well that Skylar hates crime. She wouldn't even have shoplifting. I mean, even if she didn't get arrested for it, she definitely hates any kind of bending of the law at this point.
Why does that make Walt an asshole? That Skylar, like from the get-go, is like morally objecting things like weed, like petty shoplifting. Like she gets mad about shit that the fact that she like goes to Jesse's house to bitch at him for selling weed to her 50-year-old husband. Like if he was selling it to Walt Jr., I get it, but this is an adult man smoking a little pot and you're freaking the fuck out. Like when I said I wanted to keep an eye on Skylar, it's because people say, oh, Skylar was always a saint. It was Walt who ruined her. No, this bitch is fucking nuts from episode 1. I would not put up with this shit.
Skylar might be a bitch, but she is funny. I think she's very funny in this show.
She is, but that is not nowhere near unreasonable, okay?
It's completely unreasonable. The fucking marijuana panic? What, are we living in the fucking 1930s now? What is happening? Why is Skylar so fucking freaked? It's 2008, dude!
Look, you just gotta see Skylar, and she sees what Walt is doing, and he's being a complete asshole. He's lying. He's fucking shit up, and why does she think? Because of the weed, okay? So she tries to put a stop to it.
She even has a conversation with Marie where we find out both Skylar and Marie smoked weed in their college years. So, like, she's just a big hypocrite bitch.
No, she's looking out for him, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Walter White, 50-year-old man. Oh, no, don't smoke pot. Oh, it really is a gateway. You'll be doing meth next week. I mean, that kind of shit is so stupid.
I mean, he is literally deteriorating, and she sees it, and she tries to stop it. But no, she's the bad guy. Typical.
I mean, I think it's him and Hank have a discussion in the show about like what is legal, what is right for someone to do. I think it's very interesting kind of moral relativist stance of like, well, alcohol was illegal 70 years ago, but here we are drinking it. What one person says is illegal can be overturned overnight, depending on where you're standing. So,
yeah, and ever since this show came out, weed is now legal in like half of the states. So Skylar is not aging very well here.
I mean, you still keep thinking about like the legality, but
yeah, you're right. Tell me the moral implications of smoking pot. Tell me why it's so morally objectionable.
Stop focusing about the weed. It's so obvious.
I wish I could, but Skylar spends half the season bitching about it, and that's what we're reviewing. So I would love to not talk about it, but that's what we're stuck with. The shitty character getting pissed about fucking pot.
Why do you have to be so literal? She clearly objects to what Walt is doing, okay?
He doesn't know what he's doing at this
She thinks he's smoking weed.
Well, she should stop it either way, because it's clearly bad.
He's a 50-year-old man. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Also, he's got cancer.
Well, she doesn't know that at that point.
Yeah, I know, but he could be buying pot because he has cancer, and like,
so true.
That's a pretty alright reason.
Or maybe he wanted to get high. Fuck you, Skylar. It's none of your fucking business.
I mean, he's lying to her, and then she tells the pot dealer to stop dealing pot to him. It's so fair.
Which is insanity. I mean, I'll give her this. The scene with Skylar and Jesse is one of the funniest scenes in season 1. Like, when she keeps saying yo to him. Like, the fact that the scene exists is perfect. Like, it's a beautiful scene. I just don't like her character motivation for wanting to bitch at Jesse.
It's like the only way that Jesse will understand anything she's saying is if she appends yo to every end of the sentence.
Yeah, it's the rock bottom episode of SpongeBob when he has to keep...
Yes.
I forgot just how funny season 1 could be. Genuinely great humor.
Yeah, I almost feel like it was lost in the later seasons in Better Call Saul. Like, I feel like season 1 might be the funniest.
Well, season 1 is a comedy of errors. It's so crazy how much shit they get wrong and how crazy it becomes, and they just like barely survive, and every time they get away with it, there's just another thing, just another huge curveball for them.
Is it wrong to say that this might be with the show at its most fun as well, where it's just like every time that Walt does something to somebody to fuck them up, it's hilarious, it's amazing. Like when he fucking puts the squeegee in that guy's battery or whatever, and his car blows up.
Or the comedy of errors of Jesse like melting his own house and having blood and guts like just destroy 3 floors of his home. Like I feel that's like at the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
And like at that point, was there any other show like this in history? Like this comedy show about making drugs, and then there's like so bloody and gory, nonstop. Every character says the word fuck. Like, this show should have been on HBO. I think AMC might have held it back. Because if Walt Jr. is saying the word fuck in episode 4 and then he never says it again, I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I need more fucks, more titties, and more blood and gore.
Wow. I think my favorite scene in season 1 is either when they're cooking meth in his basement and the realtor comes by with a group of people.
That is like straight up an SNL sequence. Like it's literally a fucking comedy bit.
That or the heist with the chemical treatment facility where they're stealing the methamphetamine. That was good.
Yeah, when they lock him in the toilet, it's very hilarious, really.
And then they have to, like, carry this heavy barrel out by themselves.
Yeah, they did not think to roll it, did they?
It reminds me of the Coen brothers, where it's like everybody who's doing these things, you kind of feel for them, but they're also fucking idiots while they're doing it. So it's kind of like you get to see the fun misadventure in that.
Yeah, Hank next season points out that they should have rolled it, you know, but that's probably why we all think it, but back in when I originally saw it, I didn't immediately think of rolling it, you know. Oh,
back in 2008, they hadn't invented rolling yet.
Yeah, it's a reasonable mistake to make. We're always carrying our barrels, you know.
Wow.
While we're still dissecting the 2 characters here, we did a lot for Walt so far. Do we have any other thoughts on Skylar before we move on?
I'm actually I'm sympathetic towards Skylar. I know a lot of people hate her, you know, she's the funny bitch wife, you know, but seeing how much she genuinely, like, loves and cares for Walter during season 1 makes me feel really, really bad for what's about to happen.
Yeah, I really don't know how you're not seeing this, Mumkey. Like, she really does care, and she hates being lied to, and it really hurts her. But he just won't stop, and he's so obvious about it. He gets this call from Jesse, and he just, like, she sees through his lie immediately, and he just keeps piling on the lies and not. I know it gets even worse, but it's already starting. Okay, she's so tired of his shit.
So I think you're missing what makes the show so fun, Florian. Walter White is literally just Peter Parker, but instead of running out to be Spider-Man, he's just running out to make meth. And like the drama of having to balance his superhero life with his real life and having to lie to his friends and family about where he's really going, like it is just the Peter Parker model, but switched to the villain. And like that is so much fun. So we need him constantly lying to his wife.
Yeah, but why do you still hate her so much? Like,
because she hates weed for no reason.
I fucking hate weed.
Like she wants. Do you know how many people in this country are locked up because of weed? It should be 0. It's like millions. And Skylar's like, good, lock them up.
Hell yeah.
No, that's insanity.
Throw away the key.
Classically,
go for it.
The character who is standing in the show and being like, this show should not exist. You shouldn't be going out cooking meth or like really just doing anything that she doesn't approve of is always going to be the hated character because they're kind of in the way of you having a fun show. But
it sounds like Florian wants the show to be like the white family breakfast hour, and like Walt never tells a lie, he never cooks meth, he never smokes pot, he's just sitting like, oh, so the Wonder Bra, you want to see these teenage titties, son? And Florian's like, oh yes, finally a show for me.
Yeah, I would probably actually enjoy like Walt being a boring guy, and getting,
I bet you would.
and getting treatment from his billionaire friend, okay, instead of becoming a drug dealer, and getting a job where he would get the same amount of money but perfectly legally because of his genius. That would be great, okay? I would be here for it, you know? Fucking reboot Breaking Bad, but he's going to be
Breaking Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does the right thing.
Hell yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be the best show ever. They're gonna bring back all the old cast, you know. They're gonna be really old, but it's still gonna work.
Especially for the Walt character.
Hey, Rich, you gotta stop moving your mic around. Anyway, go ahead.
Hello?
You keep moving your shit.
All right. Yeah, it should be fixed now. So especially for this show, it's important to point out that Walt had a solution for his cancer. Elliot was fine with paying for it. He was, I guess, talked into it by Skylar. I don't think she really had to talk him into it too much.
And even in episode 4, when they, sorry to interrupt, but when they're talking about how they're going to pay for this $5,000 deposit, Skylar says that they can borrow it from Hank, and Walt also just says no. So while he might not be an asshole from the beginning, he's certainly too prideful to accept money from a friend or a family member.
Right. So his first sin is pride. It's being unwilling to accept help from family, friends, people around him who are better off because he is not as good off or feels betrayed by not being that good off. And yeah, this could have been a very boring show, despite the fact that the fucking American healthcare system won't just treat you outright. He had the ability to do it anyway.
I mean, don't they treat you? I mean, I think they have to treat you.
You know nothing about America, dude. You need to fucking catch up.
I mean, are you sure? Are you sure you're not just in debt afterwards, but they still have to treat you?
With cancer? Well, he's gonna have an operation and then he's cured?
I mean, no,
it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah, you have to do several treatments of chemo.
And you gotta pay for that shit.
You have to pay for every single one.
Wow, okay. Well, I guess he is in big trouble, but, you know, he's still really messing up, you know? Like, you say pride is his sin, but he's way worse than pride because he commits, like, literal killings. And
hey, we're in season 1, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, he's already got 2 killings.
Yeah, from people who are trying to kill him.
Yeah, and why? Because he's a criminal.
Whatever, dude.
Why'd he bother doing that? Because of pride? I think we passed pride there, okay?
If he deserves to be killed by drug dealers for standing in his underwear in the desert and cooking meth, then I guess, Florian wants the death penalty for all of those hippies.
I mean, I'd probably be fine with with that for me.
Hey, everybody, Florian will not fight back. If you want to murder him, go for it. He'll say, oh, well, I don't want to be a killer. I guess I'll just sit here and let you kill me. That's fine. Kill me. I'm a criminal. Wow. I pirated a movie one time. Criminals deserve to die.
Anything illegal? Florian, what have you done that's illegal?
Today.
Yeah, today.
Wow. It's probably nothing.
Hey, you know what should be illegal?
Pirating a movie. Do you know how many years in jail that would be?
Yeah, he wants to pirate the conservative film My Son Hunter. Starring Hunter Biden, I think.
First of all, how dare you? How dare you steal from Gina Carano's pocket?
Yeah, she doesn't have that Disney money anymore. She needs every penny.
Yeah, I definitely paid for that movie. Come on. How dare you?
Let's go back to Skylar. We can't pretend she's some saint, okay? Episode 1, it's her husband's 50th birthday. She can't even get off a fucking eBay on her laptop to give him a hand job. It's the most unenthusiastic, pathetic fucking hand job in history on his birthday. Not even birthday sex. She will not give him any personal attention. Like, one hand has to be on her fucking laptop the whole time. You telling me this is a wife that you should not lie to? This is a wife you should not deceive? She really truly cares about this man when he's sick or when she's suspicious of him, but when everything's good, fuck it, here's a hand job for your 50th. Fuck Skylar and fuck all of you.
Well, you know, you can hate on Skylar all you want. I think that Anna Gunn is hilarious. I think she plays that scene perfectly.
I like Anna Gunn. I don't like this pathetic hand job.
Jerking him off. She's clearly more invested in the fucking eBay bidding or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, but no, tell me more about how much she cares about him. That she cares more about this eBay bid, Florian, please.
Hey, she is the perfect anti-weed waifu, okay? And she's probably making the money
anti-weed waifu?
Never thought I'd hear those words.
Yeah, she's probably making the money right there on eBay. Probably could have paid for the cancer cure that way, but no.
I think it was like $17.
Yeah, Walt had to get it away with his wiener, you know.
It's like under $20 that she's getting for a lot of these things.
Florian, if you paid some nice Austrian woman to spend time with you and she was just on her computer the whole time, would you not ask for a refund?
Well, yeah.
Walt should refund this marriage.
Wow.
Oh, we fell in love because we would do the crosswords together. Wow, this is the most romantic couple I've ever heard. They truly have a passion for each other. They met doing the crossword.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. Screw you.
You know who's a better match for Skylar?
At the beginning.
Who?
Jesse. You go on Jesse on his MySpace page. It says he loves MILFs. I think, and the chemistry she had with Jesse in that scene when she's saying "yo," I think they should have been together. And Walt should go with Carmen, I guess.
I slept with Jesse.
Yeah, then he'd be really mad. If
I fucked Jesse, I have Jay.
Also, another part of this smear campaign against Walt to say he's always an asshole. People will post season 1 scenes out of context, and one was the scene when Jesse is sitting on the toilet smoking meth, and Walt like bursts in and tries to flush it down the toilet. Like, oh wow, why is Walt so mad? Because in the scene before, it's revealed that Jesse told Crazy 8 all about Walt's family and his job and shit. Like, yeah, this huge betrayal, I would be fucking pissed. Jesse's lucky he didn't get much worse than his fucking meth thrown in the toilet.
And also, he's smoking their supply as well, so he's like eating into.
Well, I'm always in favor of flushing drugs down the toilet, so I approve of this scene. Yeah.
Good.
Fucking dare Florian over here.
No, I mean, I'm on board with flushing meth down the toilet for sure. Like, that doesn't, I don't need that near me.
I mean, but even then, like, we're saying pride and, okay, the killings might be okay, but then, like, making the mess itself is already, like, hugely detrimental to everyone. How many people are going to die just because of this mess? And especially if it's particularly addicting, how much worse is that than regular meth?
Look, Florian, this is a moral good because there's a lot of meth out there that's not high quality. It's going to get you killed when you put it in your fucking body. And he's making high quality, very clear glass, and he should be applauded for that.
Yeah, there's no chili pee that's going to infect your lungs. Just nice chemicals.
Great. And what are these junkies going to do when they run out of money for the expensive stuff, huh? Ever think about that one? And now they have...
that's not his problem.
Yeah, it is, because they're hooked on his
good
meth.
quality meth.
If we're approaching this, Florian, from the point of view of meth will always exist, there will always be somebody making it. Yeah. It might as well be, like, not full of chili powder.
That is so wrong. Like, obviously, these people go out and get people addicted. That's how the business model works. Like, you really think there's not going to be more people being addicted if you have better quality mess sold by more motivated gangsters? Come on, man.
Look, Florian, it's about managing their addiction, helping them manage their addiction.
Yeah, that's Walt's goal.
There are people with addictive personalities. You can't change that about them. You just have to put them into as safe a circumstance as possible.
Yeah, if they're going to be addicted to something, at least be addicted to the best of the best.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I really am the Skylar on this show. Everyone's just talking about how the crimes are fine, but then complaining about them is bad. Yeah, okay. We can't have anyone trying to stop Walt. That would end the show. Oh no, how boring would that be?
He won an entertaining show, Florian.
Yeah, I don't know. I relate to Skylar. Okay, she's great.
Well, good. I'm glad somebody is a Skylar defender. We need as many perspectives on this show as we can get. Do we have any other thoughts on season 1?
I want to talk about Jesse for a bit because I think the Walt and Jesse pairing is one of the best elements of the show, or at least one of my favorite elements of the show. I think Aaron Paul is fucking great. It blows my mind when I read about how they wanted Jesse to just be like 1 or 2 season character.
Yeah, we're going to kill him at the end of season 1.
Walt would kind of just continue on and do other things himself. You just need Jesse. You need him in there for a bunch of good stuff, and like it blows my mind they were gonna fucking cast him by the wayside.
Well, I always keep thinking, why does he need Jesse? Like, Jesse's just dragging him. Obviously, Jesse is kind of competent occasionally, so it makes sense. But obviously, Walter could make so much money without Jesse.
Well, no, he needs Jesse at the beginning because Jesse knows the business while Walter knows the chemistry.
Yeah, the start. But he doesn't need him afterwards. Like, he buys him out, and they would have been fine, but then Jesse takes revenge.
Well, they do break up like 18 times in the show, so don't worry. It will be addressed, Florian.
Yes,
here's what I don't like about Jesse. Well, first of all, there's a great scene where Hank is trying to scare Junior straight by making him talk to Wendy the prostitute, who, I did not remember this, in her very first shot, she's buying a root beer from that vending machine, and then we see her do that again in Better Call Saul, so Wendy's always got her fucking root beer. But then Jesse, while he's, methed out and paranoid as fuck, he thinks these bikers are going to his house, he's having sex with this old woman prostitute Wendy and smoking meth in this grungy hotel room. Oh man, poor Jesse. This is not the Jesse I want to see at all.
Yeah. Well, he did say
he's down bad.
He looks like a MILF.
Well, Wendy looks like a MILF.
Not that I'd like to fuck, but she is older.
I mean, in that dark room, she kind of looked pretty hot, And
I didn't see him grabbing a condom. Like, he's fucking a prostitute bareback.
Yeah, it were simple times,
Living life on the wild side.
Jesse has gonorrhea now. Like, that's just a fact.
Canon. That's canon.
It has to be. There's no way Wendy's clean. Look at her fucking teeth.
This season has some of the best stuff for me, and it's seeing Jesse's family, which just breaks my heart every single time. It's just so fucking sad to me.
You don't find the family cartoonish with, like, they have the perfect son. Oh, he's the king oboe player, and he's got the soccer practice. They found a doobie.
No, I don't think so. It's overcorrection. It's like they feel like they fucked up with Jesse, so now they're like, in my head at least, they were probably all right parents, but they kind of let Jesse go by the wayside a little bit and like start being the kind of scumbag he becomes. And with this other kid, they're like not letting him do anything. And I think probably his rebellion is to get some weed and stuff. And then Jesse gets kicked out. Yeah, he gets kicked out because his brother's got skunk weed.
Jesse makes the noble sacrifice, and he takes the fall for his brother. And really, that might have set him down this horrible path. Like maybe he should have stayed with his family and went to that great church, AA or whatever the fuck they were talking about.
Yep, really could have saved him. Well, too bad about that blunt, That would have really worked out.
Well, that's why you should not be a helicopter parent, because then you will motivate your little perfect child to rebel a little bit. And
I just heard like a Half-Life 2 siren in the background of Florian's mic.
Yeah, just as soon as I started talking. How embarrassing.
European sirens do sound like video games for sure.
Yeah.
Florian, I think the nuclear reactor is melting down where you live.
It's one of those chop drones, with the blades. Busting her out the window from Half-Life.
Well, speaking of feeling bad for Jesse in this season, he has some shitty friends. He's hanging out with Combo and Skinny Pete, and as soon as he says he doesn't want to do meth with them, they're just like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to bounce.
Yeah.
Like, his friends are just using him to get high, which is like the status thing.
Yeah, but his friends become much more likable in future seasons, like Skinny Pete and Badger.
In the first season, every aspect of his life is incredibly sad and incredibly dispiriting, where he has to, and he goes to get a job and it's like a sign spinning job. He thinks he's going into sales, and it's just like every turn he takes, it's like, oh shit, he's really not gonna be able to improve himself or go anywhere with his current circumstances.
And every time he tries to improve his situation, he kind of gets shit on. Like, he tries to stop smoking meth, but his friends peer pressure him into like, oh, we're going to leave if you don't smoke with us. He tries to get a job, doesn't work out. He tries to go back to his family, and he has to take the fall for his brother. Like, Jesse is getting shit on nonstop.
Yeah, even this is a comedy of errors. Like, he tries to get a job and he accidentally goes to the wrong job interview because I guess he listens to his friend, and then Like the thing with the blunt is pretty silly as well, you know.
The job of you guys slowly pulling away the blinds to show the dancing costume was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm definitely noticing the show, like, from the get-go has so much style, has so much, like, of course, the cooking scenes when the music is playing and they're showing off different ways to cook meth for all the people watching. If you ever wanted to know how to cook meth, just watch this show.
That's right.
It's very well put together.
Does the camera ever stand still in this season? I feel like they did not invest in a tripod yet, because even just like normal shots, the camera's always slightly shaking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, didn't they say on the entire podcast that Breaking Bad was almost entirely shot handheld?
Wow.
I do like that energy to it, but maybe that's why Better Call Saul feels more cinematic.
Yeah.
That's so weird because they get like pretty crazy shots, you know. There's the shot where they clean the blood off, and it's from under the floor, and they're cleaning the blood off of a glass with the camera underneath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy, and then it's all handheld. Is that on purpose? Then I guess.
Yeah, that's like a choice they made to make the show more probably as aesthetically like you're there, like it's happening as you're seeing it.
Yeah, all these touches lost on me. Great.
Yeah, all these choices Florian does not notice.
Do we have any thoughts on the Hank and Marie of it all?
Marie is shoplifting, I guess we learn at the end of the season. I guess it's funny that Marie will be the devil's advocate for Walt when they're doing the talking pillow scene or whatever near the end of the season. Where she's kind of on Walt's side, seeing things through Walt's point of view, when he says he's not going to seek out treatment. And then, yeah, she's very much not legally secure because she's fucking shoplifting. One of the fucking stupidest gifts I've ever seen is this fucking, like,
tiara?
Diamond encrusted tiara that she steals. So stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's baby size too,
the
right?
whole Marie kleptomaniac subplot is my least favorite part of the entire series. I really do not care.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Is there just one episode that deals with that later on? Or
it randomly pops up and it doesn't really add to much. Although I guess when Hank gets tricked, he thinks that Marie was in an accident, not that she was arrested. But is there a different part where he thinks she got arrested for something?
No, it's just Skylar that almost got arrested because she tried to return the gift.
I was thinking of future seasons, but I guess we could stick to season 1. I have to go pee really bad, so do we? Should I go now or should we wrap this up soon? Do we have a lot more thoughts?
I don't have much more. I don't think
we could wrap it up.
Yeah, season 1, it's only 7 episodes. They thought it would be a longer season. Then the writer's strike began in 2008, so the final episode was not meant to be the finale episode of the season.
It very much is just cut. It's just like, okay, we're done with the season.
And the writer's strike is actually the reason why they didn't end up killing Jesse, because they didn't get around to filming his death scene. And
that's awful. Holy shit.
Wait, was Tuca gonna kill him in the first season?
Probably.
Oh, no. That's pretty crazy.
For next month, we will not be doing all of season 2. We're gonna be doing these, in 6 or 7 episode chunks. Season 2 is what, like 12 episodes?
13, I believe.
Okay. Which one is the Better Call Saul episode?
Season 2, episode 8.
Okay, so should we do episode 1 through 7 for next time, and then we'll have a whole bunch of Saul for the third time out?
Sure. Yeah, works for me.
Cool. Okay. Yep. Well, you guys have any final thoughts on season 1 before we say goodbye?
Good season. I was very, very hopeful seeing this and being like, oh yeah, I do love Breaking Bad still.
Well, I really enjoy Hank being alive. He's a great character.
You're a fan of his casual racism.
Yeah, you know what? You'd think he'd be bad, but it always cheers me up somehow. I don't know.
His racism against Mexicans is what allows him to find the hidden compartment in the trap car. So I guess racism does work out for some police officers.
Was that the racism, or could he just spot the trap.
Well,
car.
I mean, he was talking about how like this car is a sign of a culture in decline, and you guys used to be conquistadors, and now you have like bouncing wheels and shit. So I think his racism did motivate him to inspect the car even more.
I, as a Hispanic, find his racism extremely funny
and accurate too.
Yeah, that too.
Do you think Hispanic culture is in decline? Hank does.
I think that was Gomi that said it's a culture in decline. No,
it definitely was not Gomi.
Yeah, it was Hank. No, Gomi said it's a rich and vibrant culture.
Yeah, and then he called Hank a retard.
Yeah, has it been in decline for 20 years? Is that true?
Well, not 20 years, since the conquistadors is what Hank was saying.
Oh, yeah.
You guys want to plug anything?
Hartsy.
When are you going to post a video, Hartsy?
I'm working on a video right now.
Oh, good.
It's a pretty long, like, documentary type video.
Oh, about being short?
It's actually titled "How Being Short Ruined My Life: A Tragic Reality of Heightism in America."
Wow.
Now, Hartsy, you know you don't have to post that, right? Nobody's going to force you to upload that video.
Well, I kind of want to because...
Okay.
I think Hartsy gets off on people making fun of him.
No.
He gets off on being a victim, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's
you
fine.
can find me at TZARREVAN on Twitter. Come over there and talk to me about how Jesse is the best character in Breaking Bad.
Oh, damn, hot take.
Well, come to the Himsel Games channel and check out the Rick and Morty video. I'm working on the second one. It's going to be great. Every season a review.
And I'll be here, 3 times a week with shitty podcasts for you. So see you next time, folks.
Goodbye.